Hey traders, John Howell here, your number one market trader. Today, bit of a market update across the market, all the markets, stock market, mining sector. I'm going to be sharing something with you with the inflation rate as well too, some patterns I'm noticing with the inflation rate. Plus also I want to show you some of the cryptocurrencies right now. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, so let's get straight into today's training here, or today's market update. And the very first thing that I really want to share with you is what the actual stock market is doing. Now there's a lot of indecisions, or a lot of indecision of where we're at right now. And if I just take everything off the screen here, there's a lot of indecision through here. So looking at the actual stock market itself, that if I bring up this trend line from here to here, all right, so that's what I'm going to do from there to there. You can see how it came back up and rejected it as resistance, and then it's come back down through here. Now what's happened is we're actually breaking below this sort of 3,900 level right now, and we're continuing down here. The thing that you really notice when it comes to the actual stock market itself is we've had so much volatility right now, and especially with all this volatility, right now is definitely not the time to be FOMOing and in fear of missing out, or trying to just jumping anything that looks like it's going to move. So just please be patient with your trading because the volatility is starting to pick up, and the market can really just kick you out as quick as you can look at it. So just be patient with it, okay? Just be patient and wait for good quality setups. So we could see the overall movement of these markets still hasn't been either up or down, right? We can see we started to get a slight we started to get this high and this higher high and this low. And we still could get some sort of higher low here soon, right? Like that still could happen. Now, it's as the days go on, that's going out the window, but we still could be getting something like that through there. And as you can see, if I bring up my trend line through here, and from there to there, I'm also noticing that we did get the breakout. Now, here's a really interesting thing that happens through these breakouts through here. We've got a bit of a breakout to the downside. And the really interesting thing is this, is that there's two different types of scenarios that I'm waiting for here. If this is what we call a false breakout, I mean, you get a bit of a breakout out of the channel, right? And then we start to get something like this coming back into here, right? If we get something like that coming out of the markets like that, back into the channel, that broke out of this triangle pattern, okay, so that's step one. Then it got straight back up above there. If we do get something like that coming forward to this week, then we're probably going to come up and close this gap, and we're probably going to run to the other side of the channel. And I know this makes no sense right now because of what's going on with the markets, with the overall fundamentals and so on and so forth. But this is just the possible scenario. I'm not saying this is going to happen, right? But this is the possible scenario that I'm watching out for. If we do get back above here, that's going to tell me that this was a false breakout, and we're probably then likely to see move to the upside. If we don't continue to move to the upside from there, and we just start to do something like this, and then we continue down, guess what? No false breakout, and then the market's continuing down, and then we'll probably have a lot more downside to come out of that through there. So we do have two major levels through here. These two areas through here are definitely major support levels for me. Looking at the S&P 500, if I zoom up, this is my weekly charts now, and if I zoom my weekly charts out, you can see how we've actually had this was the major trend line since 2009 low. Okay, 2009 low, and you can see it's been a pretty strong support level. And this line up here is just a, what's the word for it? A parallel trend line for this one through here. Now I just connected this point through there, and you can see how it's actually had a lot of support level through here. So even if the market does start to come back down through to here, and that's what I really want to watch out for. Again, this is a weekly chart we're looking at. If we do come back down, this whole 3,600 level is definitely going to be a major key area of support in the market through there. So there's a few things that I'm watching for when it comes to the S&P 500 and what I'm looking at there from a technical level basis from there. And just remember, trades, as I was saying before, just make sure that you are definitely be impatient with this market. The market's very volatile. You're going to get a lot of false breakouts. You're going to get a lot of volatility, especially right now, September, October. One of the most volatile months in the year. So just please be patient. If you don't know, firstly, it's important to actually have a really good trading setup, okay? If you don't have a good trading setup, then join my webinar below. I'll teach you my #1 trading setup that I trade. That gets a high win-loss ratio. I'll show you how I scan the markets, how I find the trades. I'll show you all the details to that. So you know when you're looking at the markets, you know exactly what to look for in a high probability trading setup. Again, I'll just teach you my entire trading setup for free on my next webinar. In the very first link in the description there. So let's go have a look at gold right now. And the gold market that I'm noticing is we definitely got the breakout through here. And this is something I was talking about last week. I'm like, okay, we're probably going to get a bit of a false break. We're going to get a flush down to the downside. And we got that. So that's what I was expecting. So now we've gotten that. What's next through here? So there's a few things that I'm watching for when it comes to this gold market. The very first thing that I notice, and before I get to what's going on right now, the very first thing I do notice is, look at this. This could just be what we call like a big massive calm before the storm pattern, right? And what I mean by that is a lot of the times when the market just goes sideways, it's a calm effect, right? We're not really going up, we're not really going down, we're just going sideways. Generally speaking, when we get this sideways movement, we tend to get really big breakouts and big movements in the markets. Okay, sideways, not much going on. Breakout, a lot going on. Hence the terminology, right? Calm before the storm. So we can see what's going on right here, right? We actually got a bit of a breakout through here. So that's the big thing I'm really watching out for, because if this is not a false breakout, and I'll get to that in just a minute, if this is not a false breakout, then this gold is probably going to head back down to 1450. Which is that next support level through there. So there could be actually a really good shorting opportunity, which I'm watching for on gold right now. So the big thing I'm watching for is this, is that if we do start to do something like this, if we start to just go sideways for a few days, and then suddenly we get back above here, and especially if we start to break back above, sort of we get up towards the 1750 level. Okay, that's what's going to give me the confirmation that this was probably a bit of a false breakdown on gold. Okay, because that's what the market does. That you can see we broke below all these levels through here. So a lot of stops would have been triggered. So people going long and would have been stopped out. People that are going short, they would now like, oh, let's actually pile on the shorts because it's breaking a major low, and then the market reverses on you. It does that so many times. And when that happens, it's a classic false breakout. So if we do get the reversal, that's going to be a false breakout, and it really is. It's a mine. It does a lot of traders' heads in, right? Because for people that are long, they're getting stopped out here, and then if they're not long and they break, they go short because it's breaking. They learn about breakouts. Now, I trade breakouts, but I wouldn't trade this breakout, right? Because there's a probability of this actually not being a good breakout. So looking at this level through here, we can see we've actually had a big movement down. And now the people that are short, they go short here. People that were long got stopped out. People go short here, and then the market reverses. And the people that are short get stopped out. And it's just like, and this happens so many times because, again, people don't know what to do. Again, on that webinar that I'm running today, guys, very first thing in the description, you'll see what I actually look for to give me a high probability that it's not going to be a false breakout. What sort of pattern I'm looking for when it does break out, because I need to see my setup first before the breakout. So that's what I'm seeing through there. But if it doesn't do that, if for some reason the market doesn't do that, and we just simply go sideways for a bit, right, like this, and then we get a breakdown bar like that, guess what? If we get this type of pattern, like something like this here, like something like that, if we get something like that type of pattern, then we're probably going to be heading down towards 1450. So it's a bit of a do or die situation where we are with gold. Is this a bit of a false breakdown? And then we're going to see a bit of what we call a slingshot move, right? Because we can get that, and a slingshot move means we could start to see, a movement back to the upside from gold through there. So that's what I'm seeing through there when it comes to gold. Let's go have a look at the mining sector. And the really interesting thing about the mining sector is that we've been something that I use about with energy field, right? The energy in the markets. If the market has been going up a lot or down a lot, there's a time where we get pullbacks, right? There's a time where we get a pullback in a downward trend. There's a time where we get pullbacks in an upward trend, right? Goes up for a while, we get pullbacks. Goes down for a while, we get pullbacks. That's just the nature of the beast. So if I look at what the mining sector's been doing, look at this here. We've been going down, a little pullback, down, 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 and we're still going down through here. There's actually a high probability we're going to start to see a bit of a pullback soon out of the GDX. So we may get a little bit more downside, but if we're looking at this from a number basis, you know, if we ever look at a move, say that's the start of the move and this is the end of the move. This is 0 and this is 100. This is 100 is towards the end of the move. I would say right now we're getting towards the 80 to 9, probably around the 90% level of the entire move. We're probably getting around this level here. So I don't know when that, we're probably around there somewhere. So even if we do continue down here, we're probably then we're going to get a little pullback through. We're probably going to get a good pullback out of the market today, which is really interesting, right? Because if that does happen, then that may indeed be a turning point for gold as well too, right? So that's where we're in this do or die situation right now when it comes to the mining sector. And a lot of the mining stocks, such as like NEM, right, Newmont's doing the exact same thing, right? We've been going down, 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 and now we're coming down through here, and now we're actually starting to hold through here. So I'm actually expecting to see, especially like with Newmont mining, I'm actually expecting to see a bit of a rally back up towards the 50, maybe even possibly just below or around, maybe close to that 55 level through there to get actually, because as you can see, we've been going down for quite some time through there. So it's definitely something we want to keep an eye out for. So, and we are, if I zoom in a bit more, you can actually see we're starting to possibly hold through here when it comes to say Newmont. We are definitely getting, this was the downward trend line that we had. And then now we're definitely getting this sort of squeezing pattern, sort of squeezing up triangle pattern. If we do break out to the upside, again, this whole movement to me is indeed, to me, it's like the end of the move. So I'm expecting to see a bit of an upward move. We actually got a bit of a volume spike last Friday as well too. So there's a lot of buying coming into the mining sector, especially with the silver mining stocks. You actually can see here, look at this here, that's the SIL and the SILJ, right? You can see how that there was actually, it looks like there's actually a bit of a buying coming in and holding this level, because this, like the silver mining sector has indeed been support. So we may actually be getting a support level through here now and possibly starting to see something like that. Okay, so I actually do have a target on the SIL at the $27 level. So we may be getting a hold. We may be coming back down through here to hold and then rally back up. If we do start to rally back up from here like this, and we start to get a few more up days, that's going to confirm this has been what? A false breakout, right? So sometimes the market does this. It'll give you a bit of a breakdown. It'll get back above. It'll come back down to test it. If we do start to rally up like that, then there's a major probability we're going to get to that SIL through there. And the same thing for the other mining stock that I'm watching right now is Barrick Gold. Barrick Gold right now, we're getting the same sort of thing, right? We're getting this sort of downward sort of trend line coming through there. We've got a bit of a sideways movement. We had a bit of a support level going on through there, as you can see. So that was the latest low level. We broke down, we come back up. So we're definitely at this level through here and just going sideways. If indeed we start to break once again, if we do start to, let's do this here, right? If we do start to see something like this and then we break out to the upside, then that's going to confirm this being a bit of a bottoming pattern, and then we're going to start to see a movement. We're probably likely to see a movement back to the upside through there. So, which I'm expecting to see in the markets through there, because I believe we're getting towards the end of this overall downward movement in the markets. So that's what I'm seeing through there. One thing I want to share something with you when it comes to the inflation, because check this out, okay? Markets always produce patterns in markets. So let me just check. Let me show you this here. So if we have a look at this here, this is the United States core inflation numbers, okay? The core inflation rate. Now check this out. One thing I'm watching for on the inflation rate, because it's really interesting, right? Even inflation does trend analysis, right? Highs and lows. It's so funny. It's like human behavior. Low, higher low, and higher low, right? So we're in a strong upward trend on the inflation rate, right? So the thing that I'm watching for on the inflation rate, now we know what happened with the numbers, right? So we actually got, this is what happened with the numbers, right? It's been going down, 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 and then suddenly we got a bit of a spike back up in the inflation rate here. I'm actually expecting the inflation rate to start to overall come back down real soon. Now, when I say that, like over the next couple of months, I believe we're getting towards the end of the top. So that's what I'm seeing with the inflation rate. But check this out here, okay? So if I go to say 25 years worth of view, let's actually go to 10 year worth of view. Watch this here, right? Watch this here, traders, okay? So if the inflation rate, for example, we actually got a spike back up, but remember, we're not actually at where we were before, okay? We're not at where we were before. So what I mean by that is that the high number was up here, right? 6.5 was the high number. We're almost there, but we're not where we were. You know, we're actually still lower than we were back at the start of the year, right? So 6.4, 6.5. Down, 6.3. So again, I'm expecting to see the inflation number to actually start to go down. So looking at this inflation number through here, let me go back to the chart here. So looking at that through there, if indeed, okay, so this is the pattern I'm watching out for. If indeed we do start to see shifting in the inflation rate. So what I mean by that is that if we do hold here, and for some reason over the next few inflation readings we start to do something like this, guess what? We're actually now starting to top out a bit. We would have started, because last time we got what? Last time we got a bit of a pullback. We just continued on. Now, if we do start to get a continuation and a bit of a continuation, then yeah, inflation is probably going to continue for a while, and that's what is there. But if we do start to get a bit of a turning point through here, okay, a bit of a turning point, which I'm actually expecting, by the way, I'm actually expecting that we're getting very, very close towards a peak in the inflation numbers, and not at the start. This is definitely not the start, okay? If you want to do some technical analysis on it, check this out. So this is a bit of TA for you. So the support, look at this here, resistance, technical analysis on the inflation numbers. Look at this here, resistance becomes support. Okay, around that $6 level. Now, where are we right now? We're right at that level through there. In first bump in the 1970s, which is right there, right? Got to that 6% number. Then we had a pullback, and then we had a rise. I do believe we're going to see up here again, probably even higher, these numbers up here again. But I believe we're probably going to see a deflationary period first, deflation, and then hyperinflation. I believe on the other side of probably this decade, we're going to really see inflation kick in big time. So that's what I'm seeing through there when it comes to the inflation numbers of that. Let me know what you think in the chat box below for that. Now, I want to also bring up and share something with you when it comes to the cryptocurrencies, because cryptocurrencies right now, traders, we're definitely not. We're probably going to go through another flushing effect or a flushing movement when it comes to the crypto market. Okay, so we can see this is Bitcoin chart right now, and we can see we've been down, up, down. We've been going sideways for a long time, right? And this was actually needed. Remember I said before about the mining sector, and this is something interesting about the mining sector. Remember I said about the mining sector and generally the markets in general, right? Whenever the markets make big moves up or big moves down, we generally need pullbacks, right? So down, pullback, down, and then now we're going through a pullback. So to me, looking at this crypto chart, this Bitcoin chart through here, to me it looks like we're about to see a flushing effect on Bitcoin. And if I bring up my weekly charts, if we do start to break, right, if we do start to break that level through there, there's actually there's no support until we get down to probably 10,000. So we can see the level through here. Let me bring this up. There's no support level through until we get down to this level down through here. So right down to this level through there, and there we go. My charts are populated now. So there's actually no support or resistance until we get down through there, and it's probably going to flush down to probably down 10,000. So looking at that, if we do start to open up my charts a bit more, we can see how that we're squeezing up into this overall sort of pattern through here. We've been coming down. We ran up. We come back down. We come back up. We're now creating a lower high, and the market's just going sideways. So I'm expecting to see Bitcoin start to have a flush down, which to me, I'm actually getting excited about, because there's some really good shorting opportunities that are coming across all the different crypto markets that I'm looking at. And what I'm going to mean by that is like looking at now Ethereum as well. Ethereum right now has now broken back down. So if I look at Ethereum, right now we've actually broken below this support level through here. We've made a high and a lower high, and we're breaking down. So I'm actually expecting Ethereum to start to get back down towards here somewhere in the Ethereum market. And there's a lot of actually, yeah, just looking at this level here, Ethereum could actually get back down, probably back down towards maybe even like 500 level. That's pretty crazy, isn't it? So we can see that through there, but there's a lot of different cryptocurrency guys that I'm watching for. Bitcoin, Ethereum. We've got a Neo as well too. Neo is definitely one that I'm watching right now. Again, all for possible trading opportunities. Possibly also like this is Cardano as well. We're looking at, this is also Dogecoin as well too. Dogecoin, right? Dogecoin is all these cryptocurrencies right now, apart from actually XRP's actually started to, over the last couple of days, we actually started to get a bit of a bid in XRP. But these other cryptocurrencies, they're actually not looking too good. They look like there's going to be some really, I believe we're going to get a bit of a flushing effect come, and this is going to be the capitulation towards the end. So I believe traders, after this capitulation type phase, we're going to see flushing effect and capitulation is the come, I believe, in this market. But after we see this, then after the next, say, 6 to 12 months, there's going to be incredible buying opportunities, I believe, in the crypto sector. Traders, I want to invite you to my webinar that I'm running today. And on this webinar, I'm going to share with you all the details to my #1 trading system for the last 17 years and how I only trade 1 hour per day. Plus, also going to be learning the 3 secrets that I had to master over the last 17 years to generate a really good income. If you go to johnsfreetraining.com, or there should be a link in the description, click on that, go over there right now, register. If you are struggling with the trading right now, I promise you this is going to completely game change, because you're going to understand why you are going backwards and why you're losing money. And then I'm going to teach you exactly what the system I use that gets me a really high % win-loss ratio. So this is what I want you to do right now. Go to johnsfreetraining.com. Go over there, register for my webinar right now today, because you're going to absolutely love it. Or there should be a link in the description. And I look forward to seeing you on the webinar. So go to that right now, and I look forward to seeing you on my next webinar. Go to that right now. Go to johnsfreetraining.com. Go to that right now.